Excelente. Select, known as one of the most aggressive players in the North American servers, and there he is. Anyone out there think Select is handsome?
He can actually sing so well.
He can sing, he can dance, he can do it all. But can he TVZ? We're going to find out right now. Good luck, have fun, and good game.
Here we go, guys. Getting the match started.
Yes!
I am so pumped for this matchup, Sean. Dimaga versus Select. Game. This is BlizzCon 2011. That's all you have to say.
This is BlizzCon 2011, where you're getting the chance to see the best players in the world face off. We are only in round number 2, and already the action is becoming incredible. Again, you never get the chance to see these players play against one another. Same with Nesty and MVP. Never get the chance to see them play against the Americans and the Europeans. You get to see that today as they compete for a chance to win $50,000.
That is a lot of money. So here we go, jumping into the game. Up in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Terran. It's going to be Dignitas Select.
Oh, Select. And in the bottom left, the man who figured out that if you hit Alt-3 on the keyboard, it makes a heart. If you are a fan of mTw's Dimaga, give him a cheer.
So when we were talking there for a second, Sean, you were just saying how hard this map is for Zerg in the mid to late game because of how hard it is to secure that third base. Where else, besides going for a 2-base all-in for the Zerg, what else can he actually do?
Well, one of the big things that Zerg wants to go for is obviously, after establishing control of his own natural expansion, this third base in combination with taking this left fourth base becomes a very important play. Whenever Terran tries to go to the right side, go to the bottom, you counterattack along the left side. If he tries to go to the left, then you counterattack along the right side. The big aspect Zerg must exploit is the large distances and counterattack routes that are available to him. But Select going to open up right away with a double 11 racks.
We haven't seen this in a long time, but you know, Select has actually, I feel like, always been aggressive early on in this matchup, Sean.
Yes, Select absolutely has some incredible Marine control, but most importantly, he has very strong transitions. He knows exactly what to do to follow it up. If Dimaga can possibly pick off one of these SCVs building, that will literally shut the entire attack down. And look at this, Dimaga building his hatch and then building up to 17 drones. Whoa. He is not getting an early pool at all. His answer is going to be to have better drone control.
I love it when a Zerg player just feels so confident that he can go for that 15 hatch. There's the pool going down right at, I think that was 18 supply before the extractor, but that is one of the latest pools I've seen in a long, long time, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting answer that a lot of Zergs have had. Some have been trying to get the pool earlier and earlier, but players like Dimaga just say, well, let me get it later and later and build these drones, because the drones are actually extremely powerful against this early aggression. And there, Dimaga spots all of it and needs to make sure he doesn't lose any drones at this stage. Every drone lost is a chance for Dimaga to begin to step, or a chance for Select to really step ahead in that economic lead, as right now he only has 14 SCVs.
See the drones actually being pretty aggressive here. You know, drones versus Marines in small numbers, it can be very, very easy for the drones to actually take them out. Select is a little bit wary of going in, and if he could actually pick off some of these overlords, that would be really, really huge. But as we do see the spawning pool finish, 6 lings will be coming out. The 2 queens have been started. And is this attack going to do a lot of damage for Select? You know, I'm not so sure. That is just really aggressive with those drones.
These are quite militant drones, JP. Moving out, pushing the attack back, but their Select starts the bunker, but that is not going to last very long. We have 6 Zerglings out right now, but Select already has a fairly high Marine count.
Needs to be careful.
Starting to kite it, and oh no! Marines 4 and 5 arrive on the scene, and almost 0 damage is dealt. 1 Marine does fall, but the drones are going to need to do some big damage. We're seeing the drone numbers start to dwindle. The Marine count is starting to fall as well, and it looks like the Zerglings will be able to prevent the bunker from finishing.
There's one in the back. Is he going to finish it?
Oh,
he is going to finish it. He gets inside. That is really, really huge. This other bunker should be canceled and possibly rebuilt, or, you know, you might just let it finish there. The queen is out. There is a lot of Marines here. They need to get back in that bunker. This one SCV will be taken out here, but Select is still a very, very big threat right now to Dimaga.
And right now, Dimaga is desperately trying to have all his drones mine minerals, so that way, oh no, the queen falls. And it looks like bunker number 2 does manage to finish. There are no SCVs in sight. All the Marines step into that forward bunker. But look at that unit tab, only 16 SCVs for Select. He doesn't really have the opportunity to get that high of a count, but oh, look at this aggression, picking off as many drones as he can.
Uh-oh, and he does get back into that bunker, loses one of the Marines. Looks like that bunker will fall. He can obviously retreat to this other one as it does finish, and now he's got to clean up all those lings, go for the second queen, gets back inside. If he loses that other queen, it's really going to hurt his production, Sean.
In that production tab, we see only Zerglings in production for Dimaga, and it looks like the Zerglings are going to try to sweep around, and he gets a lot, and there goes down 2 full Marines. Select bringing more SCVs to the front, though that helps with the repair. It does mean Select has still not very many SCVs mining.
We see that he's already got a second command center in production. He's got 2 gas as well, but this attack is still ongoing, but that is just so many lings there for Dimaga. I think it finally will get cleaned up, and Dimaga can finally return things to normal for just a little while longer.
Select able to pull out, take it down, and Dimaga has successfully defended the double 11 racks.
And one thing that you got to be really careful of is that you don't just get overrun by lings right after that. As we see, these 2 Marines might make it back to base. It's going to be close. There's a bunker pretty close to being finished. He also is fully walled off in his main, but the lings are right here, Sean.
And here come the lings starting to wrap around Select with that trademark brilliant micro. The bunker is really not that close to being finished. There it finally finishes. And thank God those Zerglings were coming along the left side. If they were on the right, Select may have lost that front immediately.
Now, looking in the units tab, we have Dimaga at 15, 16 drones, and Select is at 24. That attack, you know, it didn't seem like it did all that much, but it really denied the fact that he had to use all those larvae for lings instead of drones, and it's really going to help him out as this game is progressing forward.
And we see the double factory down now for Select. Looks like he has some Blue Flame Hellion plans in store, but the Marines from Select so aggressive. And look at this, in the 8 p.m. tab, Select with 184. And this 8 p.m. is designed to eliminate redundant actions. Select is playing at lightning speed right now, just such a fast player.
That is, I think, the highest that I've seen it since the 8 p.m. change. Most people usually idle around 100, 120. I've never seen it in that 184 range
That
before.
is incredible stuff. And a third command center from Select. He is going into heavy 2-base macro mode.
And we see, of course, the factory out. Is he going to be getting Blue Flame? There it is, actually being upgraded. So we're going to see some Blue Flame dual factory play out of Select here. And what are we going to be seeing from Dimaga? Well, he has a Baneling Nest coming up. He's got that Spine Crawler, of course, at his natural. Still on no lair tech. Still on hatch tech, I guess is what you would call that. So also still on 2-base. And this is kind of the situation that you were referring to where it gets really, really difficult for Zerg.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what Select does, he is effectively denied a comfortable third base for Zerg, and that is going to be enough for Select to slowly get a bigger and bigger advantage. But look at the answer that Dimaga has in store. He is going to be getting a Roach Warren up. If Dimaga times this out properly, he will have Roaches up to defend against that Blue Flame Hellion push. And with the Banelings, he can defend against future follow-up attacks as well.
See a couple of Banelings being morphed in. The lair has started. Roach Warren about halfway complete. And Select, you know, he's just kind of sitting pretty right now with the Marines and Hellions, not adding on any other tech just yet. He might try to secure a very quick third, but a lot of times when they do get this fast command center, they really get their natural and main saturated very, very fast, as well as that additional mule.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can get all these mules up definitely lets you start slowly springing ahead. There's this brief period where Select is a little bit behind before he can really kick into gear, but here's Select building 3 barracks. He's walling off the counterattack path. He's starting to get ready to move out, and Dimaga needs to recognize immediately and begin flooding with Roaches, and there the Roaches are incoming right now. Select does not have any upgrades for these Marines. If the Roach count from Dimaga is sufficiently high, he can cut down this entire attack with ease.
He's got 4 Roaches coming out right now. Here come the Blue Flame Hellions, though, and they're going to run into the Banelings, getting one of them. Is he going to try to go back and get the others? No, it looks like he will retreat for just a little bit longer. If he can get in there, he takes out one more. Those 2 Banelings are going to be so crucial for this attack, but there is a lot more coming, Sean.
And Select doing the classic expert move. You walk to your opponent's front door, and then you pull right on back. One of the most effective ways to force your opponent to make units instead of drones, and a 4th command center for Select. This is actually a little bit surprising. I actually don't know how much I like this play. He really should be gearing up to float that third command center to these destructible rocks. This might just be a mistake.
I've actually seen, is it MVP that's done something like this before? There's a Korean Terran who's done this in a match at GSL, but I can't quite remember the name
I mean,
of it.
MVP did get 4 command centers very quickly against Nest-T. However, MVP was able to put those at 4 different bases. So, I mean, I kind of get that, but what Select is doing here is Select is giving Dimaga a big opportunity to have some free time, some leisure, where he can add on way more drones and start to step back into the game.
Now, we talked about how Select had that one build in this matchup. As this game is about 13 minutes in, do you really see a big change to his playstyle in this matchup?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the fact that there is no medevacs, I mean, I think that would surprise anyone who's watched Select for any amount of time.
We see the pathogen gland started, of course, from that infestation pit, which will definitely make for some big cheers here if some huge fungals are landed later in the game. These Hellions are really being quite active across the map, making these roaches being active as well, but really just keeping Dimaga on his toes. Here's the big missile turret wall, of course, to defend against any mutas, but we're not going to be seeing mutas because we have 5 infestors on the way, Sean.
Oh, 5 infestors. One of my favorite things to hear, JP. With those pathogen glands finishing up and the double Evo chambers going down, I think that we're getting the chance to see trademark Dimaga going for that big infestor Zergling swell. Looks like the creep is continuing to expand for Dimaga, trying to again establish those counter attack paths. And again, notice he's spreading creep on the left as he expands to the right. If Terran moves along the right side, he can easily do a fast play up the left.
See that the high yield is up and running. Planetary Fortress about halfway complete. And, you know, that might seem like a good idea, but sometimes Zergs will just run in the exact amount of Banelings and take it out. You can't lift it. You'll lose a command center and that fortified position.
And Dimaga's really getting the opportunity to step back into this match. He desperately needs to begin those upgrades at the very least. He cannot afford to fall behind. 4 more barracks going down for Select. Soon enough, he's going to be getting reactors on all of those racks. And look at this, a 3rd factory. This is so unlike the Select that we normally see.
Here comes Dimaga moving up. He wants to deny this. A big fungal going down on Select's Marines. Is it going to be enough to kill him? He gets 1 clump, but he will not be able to push further as he did a lot of damage there. The supply still in the lead right now for Select at 108 to 88. And Select is actually going to push forward here. He feels like he's at the advantage of that last fight.
Yes, Select trying to do his best. Oh, another big fungal manages to annihilate a good pack of Marines. The gold rocks have not even been taken down by Dimaga, and it looks like it's just Zergling Infestor at this point for Dimaga. His one vulnerability would be those medevacs, but as we see, Select has only just finished his starport. I don't even think has any medevacs on the field. No, he does not, but 70 SCVs. Maximum macro for Select. Hive now incoming for Dimaga, and plenty of Infestor Ling to defend.
Now, one thing here, if Dimaga can get that Hive up and get those units out that he wants from it, he's really going to be in a great position, but he's got to get there first. As a big fungal lands on those Marines, he really does not have all that much to defend with, only Lings and these Infestors at the moment.
And look at this, he's bunker turret pushing. We never see this play out of Select, but carefully crawling his way down to this bottom right expansion, trying to make sure that Dimaga doesn't get too far ahead in those resources, and then just the perfect pullback, a single medevac enough to allow Select to push aggressively forward.
And here come the Infestors. Will they be able to get the big fungal out? He gets 1. It's not going to be enough, though. He will have to follow that up. Oh, no. Select actually lifts at the last minute there. And if he can deny this hatchery, it's really going to put Dimaga in a very, very bad situation. Looks like Dimaga can't do anything. The hatchery's going to go down.
And Select takes down Dimaga's 3rd expansion. Great play by Dimaga, but man, those creep tumors getting very far extended forward.
Now, you've oftentimes said that MVP plays a very slow Terran, one of the slowest Terrans that you've ever seen in almost all of his matchups. Select is kind of looking like that right now. He's pushing very, very slowly across the map, but it's just so hard to break as the Zerg player here.
Very careful, meticulous pushing, and oh, the big fungal. He needs to land another one, and he does, and now the Zergling Roach is starting to spring forward. Dimaga making his last stand. Oh, and he barely missed the opportunity for the fungal that he needed. The Roachling does manage to eat back to force a little bit, but Select is looking strong.
And Select, I mean, 153 supply to 96 of Dimaga right now. He's effectively on 2 bases. The 3rd hatchery is up and running. We see a lot of forces being pushed here up on the right to that through that base. But now we see a huge spread from Select. at the gold base of Dimaga. Tanks are spread, Marines are spread. It's going to be very hard to break this, Sean.
And it looks like we have 5 Ultralisks coming as well. Another huge fungal, but is it enough? You see the Marine count is ridiculously high. He does have 1-0 upgrades, level 2 about to finish. Can he get another fungal growth? It looks like Dimaga barely has enough energy for one more and does not get the hit that he needs. Those Ultralisks only 15 seconds from popping out right now, but Select has pushed forward, taken down a single hatch. He may even take down these eggs before they finish.
Now, this attack is going to do a lot of damage. It won't kill Dimaga because those Ultras are about to pop, but there is a Thor here. You might actually be able to kill these Ultras before they can really do much damage, and here we go.
Ultralisk starting to push on back, but we do see that the tank line continues to extend backwards, and it looks like they're slowly falling, and more reinforcements from Select, and it looks like Dimaga's last stand was not enough, and good game.
Select getting his birthday wish in that first game. And I got to say, he has actually improved so much in that matchup, Sean.
He's looking absolutely incredible, but don't count Dimaga out yet. I mean, Dimaga suffered so much damage to that early 11-11 racks and still pushed it to a 20-minute game, a very impressive feat. And you saw Dimaga inches away from repelling those attacks with such a small amount of units. Imagine if Dimaga got the chance to have a safe, stable opening. And I think it all came down to the choice of map. What's going to be map number 2 between these two?
I think he might get that safe, stable opening, Sean, because we're going to be headed to Shakuris Plateau as our next map.
And there on the left, you see Dimaga. On the right, you see the man up 1-0. That is Select. Now on Shakuris Plateau, very good map, again, for that early barracks aggression, but you have a little bit more comfort of defense as Zerg.
Yep. So, looks like both players are ready, Sean.
Oh, all right. Ready? I'm ready. I'm going to say good luck, have fun, and good game. The match is now starting. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for game number 2 between Dimaga and Select. I know the crowd is excited to see some fireworks in game number 2, JP.
I know, and I'm really wondering, you know, Select opened up so aggressive that game. Is he going to play more passive this game? I mean, that seemed like a new style of Select. Does he have more styles that we haven't seen yet?
That was actually really shocking to see Select play that slowly, and I think all the Dimaga fans are going to be delighted to see these positions. In the top left corner, we have the man who apparently has just received a B-Day gift. In the top left, it is Dignitas Select. Cheer for him. Cheer for Select. There you go.
And down here in the bottom right, the guy giving Select his birthday wish. Is he going to give him the match? We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be Dimaga, the Red Zerg. It's okay. Crowd's biased. They've lost their passion.
Well, they have this sort of crescendo cheer where they're like,
hey, man, it's not easy being in the crowd. You got to do a lot of cheering at these events,
a lot of
Sean.
cheering, man. You think our voices blow out. Try being in the front row on the main stage.
Woo! It's true. It's true. So, Select is going to be getting, of course, that Rax. And, you know, we talked a lot about on the last series in the TVP matchup that you can go for that 15 command center. It's also pretty viable in this matchup. Do you think Select might do something like that?
Well, it looks like Select, interestingly, he didn't just get a barracks at, while making SCVs. He actually cut SCVs to build this barracks a little bit sooner. So I think what we're going to see Select do is try to do some bunker rush pressure. Yep, there it is. There's the barracks going down in the bottom left. And hopefully catch Dimaga off guard a bit. What Dimaga should notice is that there are very few SCVs and that this command center was not building SCVs for a moment.
You see the hatchery first for Dimaga. And how many, was that a misclick there by Selection?
He tried to pick off the drone, but pulled all his SCVs off mining for a brief second. So.
That is pretty painful to watch, that is for sure, especially if you don't get the drone. But Dimaga getting all the way up to 17 supply again before making that pull.
Again, really relying on those drone controls to be able to stay alive. And now I see Dimaga doing the smart play. He's moving his drone through the middle of the map. Now, if Select is being really careful, he will rally along the south lip or wherever this drone is not at. But no, it looks like Select's going to move out with his first Marine, try to take down this watchtower, and look at this SCV taking the very, very roundabout route.
Now, the big thing here is last game, Dimaga defended against that pretty well, even though Select was able to get those 2 bunkers with. Most players really just died to that.
Yeah.
But Dimaga actually stand still and really look very, very strong. You know, if that was Idri, he probably would have just left, to be honest.
Hey-yo. We now see it looks like there are the Marines being rallied. Select was careful to keep them pinned back for as long as possible. We see 6 Lings coming up right now, and even though this might be a potentially deadly attack, Dimaga has had the opportunity to mine for a little bit longer, but that Overlord is going to be a big vulnerability. Select, there's 1 bunker, 2 bunker. Is he going to get it?
Oh, and he does. But that one is really low HP.
Really
the drone's actually taking it, cancels it.
And now Dimaga gets the surround. Select managed to take down Sheth with that very play last game. And total devastation on that attack. Completely falling apart.
Now, do you think, was that cancel a misclick by Select, or was that purpose?
I think it was purposeful. It had 20 hit points left. That's 4 hits from a drone, and there were 5 bully drones there ready to bite again.
Right.
Actually, a very quick, clever reaction play there by Select. But I do think that this overall bunker rush was a big loss for Select, and Dimaga will come right out the gate with a large lead.
You see here, as the Lings are coming up, they will have to fall back because there's just way too many Marines to really push forward. And we also see that there's a command center started in that last tech. No refineries, though. Meanwhile, over in Dimaga's base, it's going to the unit tab. He's only up to 18 drones right now. He does have 2 queens out as well as his 2 hatcheries, and a 3rd queen started as well, so he can definitely get that drone count up pretty quickly.
And I think the thing that's going to impress everyone most about Dimaga is his incredibly consistent creep spread. I mean, the distance between creep tumors is absolutely perfect, pretty much always. And again, notice this hotkey setup by Select. 1, 4, 5, and 7. He actually skips 2 and 3 and skips 6 for a brief time. And he'll put things like Ghosts and Medivacs on 6. It's a very odd play, but if you watch his hands, it ends up being a very efficient way of controlling things.
Yeah, and I mean, if you see Dimaga's right there, it's pretty simple. 1 through 5 and then 0 for all his hatcheries. So.
And we see the extremely fast layer from Dimaga actually skipping over Zergling's speed. What do you think about that play, JP?
You know, to me that really signifies that he's not going to play aggressive whatsoever.
Yeah.
He's going to play very passive, which last game he kind of did. He got those Infestor Lings out. Then he eventually got speed later on. But I think he just wants to get to Hive Tech as soon as possible right now.
Yeah, I mean, Dimaga is one of those players who relies on Hive Tech in a way that other players do not. He likes having that Zergling attack upgrade. He likes having the Ultralisks out. Spine Crawler's now going up, so it looks like Dimaga is in all defense mode.
And Select is just now lifting up that orbital command to take out his natural. You see a tech lab there started on one of the racks, but there's a factory just north of it, so he probably will switch that out. Hasn't added on any more expansions to these racks, though. And, you know, Dimaga, you spoke about the creep spread, but there you have it, almost already in the center of the map right now as we see Baneling speed and Ling speed started as well.
This is a clever little timing by Dimaga. Now, ordinarily, these Spine Crawlers would be a big blunder getting that many early on, but notice that he did cancel 2 of those Spine Crawlers. Select in the background is continuing to make a lot of Marines, and this is a bit of an awkward situation you end up in as Terran. All of these barracks cannot get add-ons because they must be in part of the wall off. So, dropping a changeling in there, getting a little bit of scouting information. It gets easily cleaned up. But due to his inability to make enough Marine, Select is just going to get a reactored starport and get a lot of medevacs ASAP.
We see him once again. He got that early 3rd command center there in his main, and once again in this game he's going to be doing it as well. So you think he'll actually add on a 4th one? Because we saw him do that last game, take his 3rd pretty easily. I mean, then he just did that slow passive push.
He very well may. I mean, the one reason he got that 4th command center last game is that he needed to get a planetary fortress at that 3rd. Again, all in line with that very passive play. And interestingly enough, Dimaga is not doing anything except going Ling, Baneling. He might try for a very, very weird delayed bus timing. 22 Zerglings
I think he's going to do
in
it.
production for Dimaga.
We already see the Lings going cross map, and you know, Select actually has no way to scout this. He just broke his wall with those 3 racks, moved out for just a second with those Marines, and then pulled back in. And Dimaga actually could do a ton of damage. Oh, Sean, that is a lot of Banelings being morphed here.
20 Banelings. 22. And there's the scan. He sees the layer up. He sees a decent amount of drones. He hasn't gotten all the information from that natural expansion. And look at this, Select making missile turrets, preemptively defending against some sort of air.
For a drop as well, Sean. This could be So well timed for Dimaga
Oh
if he pulls out.
my God!
And
This
here we
is
go,
the Dimaga
Sean.
that you know and love, and these barracks aren't going to be staying alive so long. See ya later.
Oh, that's so smart. He didn't lose all of them. Oh, he's going to the SCVs, getting so many SCVs,
And
breaking once again another wall.
rolling
Wow.
on in total disarray. We have Zerglings swarming into the main. 12 more Banelings rolling on in, and it looks like all the Zerglings starting to pull everything back. And this
Dimaga's not done yet, Sean. He's going to make more Banelings here. All the SCVs pulled in the main. That was just so smart for Dimaga to be able to do that.
Oh, good luck, Barracks. I wish you all the best. But Dimaga breaks down the front with relentless aggression, but that is a very high Marine count for Select. Can he control it? He gets one, and he gets another, and
wow,
a
look
third,
at that control.
and only one more Baneling is there, and he gets it.
That is just some of the best Marine. I mean, Marine King is actually a little bit jealous right now because how good control that was, Sean.
But look at the unit tab. We see only 7 Marines remaining. And with these barracks gone, Select has almost no way to reproduce an army quickly enough. He cannot try to drop because he only has 1 medevac worth of Marines. And meanwhile, look at this. Dimaga has been slowly stockpiling gas and getting an infestation pit.
He's also got his 3rd hatchery started up here at the north. He saw that Marine and just bypassed it, didn't want to take that. But Dimaga's actually going to play pretty calmly, and we see the creep spread is just so strong for Dimaga now, almost across the entire map.
Consistently gooping up the entire center, and Select's momentum has dried up with that push. We see the 2 spine crawlers at the back ready to deal with drops. We see 2 spine crawlers. Actually, he only has 2, and they're at the back ready to defend a drop. And we are seeing the 2 evolution chambers getting the upgrade. The hive is coming up. This is the stylish play that Dimaga is known for.
Now, real quick, we have 73 supplies for Dimaga, 68 for Select, and going into the unit tab, 54 drones for Dimaga, which right now he's got to be feeling pretty good about that drone count because that was a huge attack. A lot of resources went into it. A lot of larvae went into it, and he's pretty high up on the drone count.
Now, Select moving out, and again, notice how thin this defense is at the front. This is the big danger of doing drop play. Select is very comfortable with this, but he does need to make something happen. We see the double drop moving along the left side. Dimaga taking
it's going to get spotted, Sean, by that
no.
thing.
Look at this patrolling here.
That is an odd patrol.
What the heck? That is so baller.
And it, well, Select is going to drop on the low ground. Maybe a little bit fearful of Muta's coming in and cleaning up. You know, he might do somewhat of the elevator trick here to take out the back of Dimaga's base, but these infestors are going to be ready for it, Sean.
Infestors, oh no. Get the medevacs. If he can take down the medevacs, there's no vision up to the high ground. He's desperate to try to pick that off, and they come to life only to come to death.
Here, Select moving up once again, dropping, well, okay, there we go, dropping some Marines up on the high ground, but Dimaga just has so much stuff to be able to defend against this. If he can pick off some of these infestors, that'll be very good. And, he gets one of them. If he can get more. Where are the lings, Sean? Oh, there we go. There's the fungal.
There's the fungal that he needed. It looks like none of them actually end up dying. And amazingly enough, a lot of damage being dealt, and Select with another drop along the top side.
Yeah, he's actually still killing drones here in the main base as well as denying that 4th base. Select's drops are just really getting him back in this game right now.
Oh, and he gets the medevac and takes it down. But the drop play is not done. Select continuing to be aggressive, but I don't think Select actually knows about this top left base.
So we
Select knows all about it. Forget everything.
Ready for dust off.
Ready for dust off, Sean.
Siege Tank continuing to do a good bit of damage. That creep spread is getting very aggressive. Dimaga does not quite have the amount of infestors he needs.
Gonna stim in there and kill that spine crawler. Actually, Select so smart, spreading those 3 Marines out so they can't all get fungal at the same time. And Dimaga's really just choosing not to deal with this drop, Sean.
Dimaga's actually falling apart a little bit. I'm surprised to see him getting so flustered by this play. We see all the infested Terrans doing a lot of damage, and what does Select answer with? A straight push through the mid, aggressively stepping forward. It looks like the drop play has now concluded, but Dimaga desperately needs to have some sort of answer to what's in mid, and Dimaga now springing around into action. He does this around. The tanks are not sieged and do more damage to the Marines than to the Lings. The tanks are gone. Select has to head on home.
But at the same time, Sean, there is a drop at Dimaga's 3rd base. Only a handful of Marines have taken out a ton of these drones on the outside edges, staying away from those 2 spine crawlers. Select's drops are just doing incredible things for him this match.
And now it looks like Select really committing to a big push up on top. Uh-oh, Infestors managed to nab both of them.
Oh,
Can he
no.
get another fungal growth? He does. And let's see if he can manage to pick off these medevacs. The full one gets taken
one.
down, and oh,
He wants
grabbing
both
the
of
last
them.
one. Great play by Dimaga.
Now, we also see Select does have his third base up. There also is another drop with a handful of Marines here in the main base, but he hasn't moved out just yet. I'm not sure. Dimaga cannot see that on the left side of his main, but it's pretty incredible that Dimaga has remained alive in this match thus far with only Lings and only Infestors.
But here come the Ultralisks, Dimaga's trademark favorite unit. That drop gets denied. Once again, this pair of beach balls will be able to take down that medevac with ease.
And, well...
Oh, no. Oh, whoopsie daisies. Let's just get, come on, just catch up to it. Get there.
Poor
All you
infested
got to do
Terrans.
is...
There he goes. The Queen comes out and finishes it for him. So, Select doesn't... I mean, he's going to have a hard time moving out, especially with those Ultralisks now on the field. What is he supposed to do, Sean, to really continue this pressure?
He's going to try to do as much counterattacking and as much pinning back of this force as he can until his tank count gets high enough. He's going to continue to lift up, aware of those Infestors, trying to nab it. It's slowly going back to the backside, but look at this, already just gearing up to redrop immediately. Great foresight there by Select.
He only has 2 Marines, but that can definitely take care of that Queen if the... Well, how much? Yeah, it actually can kill the Queen. So back here in Select's third base, there's a huge force, but at the same time, Dimaga is thinking about moving forward right now, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, Select looking really strong, but oh, Dimaga, here he comes. We're seeing all the infested Terrans move forward, but look at that great control by Select, spreading, pulling back the Ultras now getting into the fray. Will the tank stay alive long? Absolutely not. It looks like they're trying to target fire the Infestors, but he breaks through the front lines.
And there's really not too much forces for Select to do anything against. I think Dimaga is actually going to be able to take out Select here, Sean.
It looks like, oh no, the third command center list, and the SCVs are all caught. They're going to try to run their clustering up, and he's
Oh, is he going
one fungal.
Come on, please.
And he gets out of there. Ouch.
And then he gets a tank shell in return, so that would have been a pretty important fungal there. But at the same time, he just denied the third base of Select. There's another drop happening here, though, for Select, and he will be able to take out that spine crawler. Probably won't be able to finish that hatchery, though.
This is what Select is going for, all these drop plays. That is his trademark style, but the thing that he has really worked on are these upgrades. Almost at 3-3, it is the combination of Select aggression and incredibly well-timed upgrades that he has been practicing, and it is really shining through. Even though Dimaga does have the advantage, Select is far from out of this match.
There's a bunker building for Select here in the middle, but it will get quickly taken out by all those Ultras. Looks like Dimaga wants to go in and deny this fourth base of Select. He has already lifted it, though, so there's really not going to be too much to deny. I don't even think the Infestors are coming with, so no infested Terrans will be used. But Select is in a very hard position right now. 171 supply for Dimaga and 134 for Select. It's really going to be hard to come back.
And Select continuing to try to push. Now, Dimaga is playing an interesting strategy at this point. One of the biggest elements of any long-term game is managing expansions. He is going to try to largely starve the Terran out, positioning most of his army at the south side and trying to deny this base. And whenever units come down to try to clean up, he is going to nab those one at a time.
And, you know, Dimaga's just kind of sitting pretty right now in the middle of the map. He does have the 4-2 upgrades, just now starting the 3-3 upgrades, of course. 2 more Ultras coming in. Is he going to push forward here?
Select doesn't really have a good spread.
There's a good fungal. He's moving in, Sean.
Ultralist springing into action, and oh, the Marines get absolutely annihilated, but there are a lot of tanks up on the high ground, continuing to rain fire down, and the SCV count is slowly dwindling, but Select with the Marauder count able to push back.
And Select looking really strong against that last attack. He is not stopping, Sean. He's actually stemming forward and taking out these Infestors, but the Ultras are cutting them off.
Oh,
is he going to be able to get back?
Diced up. And manages to escape.
Up. Those Ultras will have to go home, but...
Oh, look at the number of workers killed for Dimaga.
That was a lot of SCVs.
44 have been annihilated at this third expansion. But Select still continuing to push forward. He does have those 3-3 upgrades on his infantry.
We have 5 Infestors about to pop here for Dimaga. Probably going to be seeing him push forward with that. Looks like he will be transferring over these drones to another base up here. Looks like it will be the 4th base, but Select is actually going to be pushing out here on the map, Sean.
And there it looks like Select runs right into a whole bunch of melee units right at the shrubbery. And oh no, Select tries to siege up, but the Ultralists are managing to hit it from below. The siege tanks just evaporate. And now Select's trying to micro those Marauders as best he can. He might be able to pick off that one lone Ultralist if he can catch up, but he's got to be careful. There's an Infestor ready to fungal.
And those Infestors could get a big fungal here, but it looks like Dimaga does not know that he's at the Xel'Naga Tower, so he will fall back. This is just an epic slugfest from what started with a simple Baneling bust, Sean.
Yeah, it's actually amazing to think the 11 racks in game 1 went 20 minutes, and now we see the Baneling bust hitting 25 minutes, a real testament to how good these players are.
Select has still been pretty slow about pushing, but Dimaga is looking like he's going to be moving forward. A small force here for Select will get cleaned up. And Select is ready in the center, but he's got to be careful to not get fungled. There's a big fungal coming down on him with all the bio forces, Sean, but he's doing pretty well at the moment.
See Ultras continue to bring forward another gigantic fungal, manages to nab a lot of the Marine Marauder, but the Marauder count's a little too high, and Select's control is a little bit too good.
Wow.
And he cleans it up.
You know, at the start of that fight, I would not say Select was going to be the winner, but he is moving forward now with these bio forces. The 3-3 Marine Marauder medevac is just terrorizing Dimaga right now. One Ultralisk about to pop. He actually might have just won, Sean.
Oh my gosh, but we see a lot of speed Zerglings moving out onto the field. Do they have that adrenal upgrade or not? Oh no. Oh, he forgot the adrenal upgrade. Oh, Dimaga, no wonder he's been unable to do a lot of damage with those Zerglings. He has not gotten the critical Hive Tech upgrade, and Select, who was playing from behind all game long, may have just come back, JP.
Oh, a big fungal going down. These Ultras will be able to chew through those units, but he does lift off. I like the fact that there are Vikings out from Select. You know, we haven't seen any Broodlords or anything like that, but he has them just in case. It's really, really great preparation to see that.
And there's that aggression from Select trying to escape. We'll have to be patient. Wait for that fungal growth to wear off. Can Dimaga get up there to get another fungal growth in time? It looks like Select is still going to be able to pull out more huge forces streaming into the natural.
Uh-oh, he needs to be careful not to get fungled here. He starts to split his forces, dodging one of them, but another one lands on a lot of them. And, you know, he's actually targeting the Infestors there with the energy that could fungal. That was so smart there from Select. His unit control has been insane, but here's a big pincer attack. Will he be able to get out in time?
And it looks like more Ultras being rallied every which way. A drop in the top left gets cleaned out, but we're seeing Dimaga with an idle Ultralisk up at his top third. Just needs another cleave, and he cleans up that nice front line of Marauders. But holy macro, what the hell?
Select has been macroing like a boss, man. He is just destroying here as he's going to be pushing forward. There is enough for, I think, 2 or 3 fungals. He gets one of them. But the siege tanks are in siege mode, Sean.
And it looks like he's target firing all of those siege tanks, trying to throw the infested Terrans to do a little bit of extra damage. But my God, this is digital tug-of-war.
It says his current APM right now is 312, which is pretty insane when you think about the new system. But he gets surrounded.
He may have cleaned it up. And right when you thought that Select's army was about to dissipate, it just keeps going back and back and back to his main base, and Dimaga may slowly be starved out. Dimaga needs some way to put pressure on this bottom left.
He's only on 2 mineral fields right now, already mined out at his main and his natural, but he has a lot of Infestors as well as these Ultralisks. But Select has just been so annoying with that small force that he has, just controlling them so well in this game.
I mean, this is an incredible display of defense by Dimaga at this point, and by Select's ability to come back into games with his aggression. This medevac count being as high as it is what's allowing Select to push forward. A subtle maneuver Select has been doing again and again is that in every engagement, he pulls the medevacs away from the Marine Marauder, so that way fungals can't hit everything. As a result, the medevacs have managed to stay not only alive, but at full health for the most part. And we're seeing the Ghost Academy also going down for Select. His main has been mined out. We hear those transfuses that will bring those Ultralisks back to full health. And it looks like Select just took a moment to take a little birthday break, just hang out in his booth.
The big thing here is if he can get those Ghosts out, he's taking a page out of MVP's playbook and just, he will snipe those Ultras and they will die oh so quickly, and then he will just laugh. He's going to easily be able to take out Dimaga, but he's got to get them out first. They take a long time to build. And we don't see any coming out just yet as that Ghost Academy is finished.
This might have been a critical misstep by Select. For once at the 30-minute mark, the action is finally cooling off. Dimaga getting to take these 2 inner expansions. And a maneuver Dimaga must do soon is eliminate these destructible debris. so that way he can open up more attack paths than just straight up in the center.
It looks like Dimaga is slowly moving forward here. Select is going to move forward, though, with his units. He's going to catch 2 of these medevacs out. And another fungal going down. Select is slowly losing a lot of his force, Sean.
Oh, Ultralisk getting a little overbold. Gonna have to pull those back. But most important of all, no adrenal glands. The classic blunder you can make at this phase in the game. 4 more Ultralisks coming out. Oh no, the tanks are unsieged.
Uh-oh.
1 fungal and 1 bad angle could mean the end of Select's army.
Select is going to siege once again here in the middle, but it looks like Dimaga is going to push forward.
Uh-oh, coming out from the other side of the
fight.
shrubbery, and it looks like we see Infested Terrans being lobbed in every angle to absorb some of those hits from the siege tanks. A big fungal up on the north side, and the Ultralist pulling everything apart. But is the unit count too high for Select? We see the Ultralist on the top going in the wrong direction, and oh my goodness, Select may have just cleaned this push up.
Select, wow, Select is just so good with his unit control. We see the Ghosts are now in the fray. He does have enough for Snipe. And Dimaga might just be mined out, Sean.
And he gets cleaned up. Fungal growths go down. The Ultralists step into action, but Select with a great kiting, controlling near perfectly. More Zerglings trying to spring out, but Select just, no matter what Dimaga throws at him, he has an answer.
This is incredible stuff out of Select. I mean, we talked about how he had to change his style, and he's definitely done so. He's also upped his game. I haven't seen control like this from him ever before. You can definitely tell that going to Korea has helped him oh so much.
And I mean, if Select can pull the win off here, he will be in the winner's bracket semifinals. And just note that this expansion here in the bottom left has been completely untouched by the Zerg player. It has been a free expansion for Select because this aggression is so perfect. And there's the third base, now getting taken down by Select.
The big force here from Dimaga, but he's fighting into a choke point. There's
Oh,
the
no.
EMP on a couple of the infestors, but is it going to be enough, Sean? Great control could take out all these ultras, and they are slowly losing their HP, but they are going to be able to fall back and retreat.
And Dimaga stepping forward into the fray again, and oh no, all he needs to do is pick off that hatchery, and he does it. Now starting to kite those Ultralisks, doing massive amounts of damage, picking off the Broodlings. And these medevacs just do not die, JP.
And these are definitely Select's backbone in this army. They've just done so much for him, both in the early game with those drops and now in the late game, of course, just keeping his units alive. But Dimaga will not quit, man. He's using his transfusions on those Ultralisks and then going right back into it.
I wonder how much Dimaga even knows about these bases. He is more than aware that Select has that bottom left side of the map, so Dimaga either needs to break through front and center quickly, or he needs to do some sort of counterattack, drop a Nidus Worm up on the cliff. He needs to do anything he can to deny the mining from Select, because Select has nothing in his main, his second base, his natural, all completely and totally mined out. Select is feeling a little bit concerned about the bottom left. You're seeing him spread his forces out in the middle in this beautiful arc, and all he has to do is prevent Dimaga from taking these central expansions.
Yeah, and real quick, if you look at the minerals of Select, already up to 2,500, but his gas has been very, very low. He hasn't been able to get a huge amount of ghosts. We see, once again, another hatchery denied with a small force there, and Dimaga has got to be frustrated right now, Sean. He actually cannot take a base.
Yeah, and I honestly think that if he did get the adrenal gland upgrade, we could be, oh my gosh, there it finally starts. And that, wow, how to make a Ukrainian blush. Whoopsie daisies, let's just get the upgrade at the 36-minute mark, no problem at all. And there, I really like this maneuver, starting to realize he needs to be able to put pressure back on his opponent. The third base is now getting lifted up to the north. And always in the late game, on Shakura's Plateau, you have a hard time defending all your expansions as a Terran player.
See both players about 200 right now. Select does have a huge, or a lot of money in the bank. He's also got a big spread here in the center. 3 upgrades. How many ghosts does he have out on the field? A total of 3 right now. 6 Marine, 29 Marauders, and 2 tanks. Adding on 6 racks. Is he going to stop at 6? Looks like he will. Cloak is finishing for the Banshee and Mobius Reactor, or excuse me, that might have been for the Ghost, as the Mobius Reactor is now started as well.
And it looks like a couple of fungal growths. Uh-oh. Just trying to eat away at this tank in the center. Just going to pick that one off and just go back. Picking off the medevacs as well. These destructible rocks have been knocked down, so that does open up an opportunity for Dimaga to add a little bit of pressure. But Dimaga's waiting for this adrenal gland to finish up so he can actually do the damage that he's supposed to be doing. And there's the sprint up to the north side. And I do not think he'll be able to pick that off. And
Oh, a sick fungal going down.
Oh, no.
Will he be able to follow it up? There's the second one.
He's trying to unload that one medevac. It does get picked off, and now Dimaga's starting to pick them off one at a time. This is a big moment right now. If he can get all these medevacs, and an EMP manages to get a good chunk of them, and here comes Dimaga cleaning up the small force. You hear the snipes going down. Beautiful play. Absolutely beautiful.
And you know, you see Select once again. Dimaga goes up north. Well, Select goes down south and takes out another hatchery. Dimaga is long distance mining right now, and that is the only income he is getting, Sean.
And at this phase in the game, as Dimaga, you need to have these destructible rocks open. It's so easy to slip some Zerglings in, just into the main to start working down on supply depots. Long distance mining, like you said, JP, no money anywhere for Dimaga. He's going to have to start relying a little bit more on those infestors, as they're the cheapest mineral unit he can make. But still 2 more Ultralisks coming out. It looks like Dimaga has some big aggression on his mind. Both players maxed. Select is looking to be in a beautiful position, and again losing a big chunk of that Marine Marauder.
Those forces will get cleaned up by only 2 Ultras and a single fungal, but Select just right back at it again with these forces moving forward and making sure that he cannot get another hatchery down. When is Dimaga finally going to push and shove all in here in the center of the map? Well, he needs to do it soon because he's still long distance mining and he's been out of resources for a long time. And on the flip side, 3,000 minerals for Select, almost 1,000 gases. You see him? Oh, is he going to get? Oh, he does get that.
A full energy infester, very rare to see in any game of StarCraft 2. And is Dimaga going for it? No. He's pulling back. Dimaga is just trying to get into the best position he can. Here's a huge force. Dimaga needs to be aware. He needs to recognize and get the fungal off that he needs. And it looks like here come the changelings stepping in, so that way he can have vision past the shrubbery. This might be a good opportunity. Most of these forces are out of position. And that top base again taking a lot of damage.
You gotta get it. I will actually survive this time.
But at the bottom, that's what Select really wanted. 4 free Ultralisks, and he's just going for it. Straight push in the mid. The Queens are in the fray as well. Dimaga making a last-ditch effort to try to stay alive. An EMP, and not enough fungals to pick off this remaining force of units. It's going to have to be all about the Ultralisk now, but no Select. An absolutely unstoppable form in Terran versus Zerg.
Already up about 60 supply right now. Dimaga has this one base left, but it's just not going to have enough forces to defend against it, as Select will be moving forward with his tanks. And it's so awesome to see him not just moving in. He's very, very slowly moving with his tanks behind, taking it out there, taking out the forces of Dimaga as well. Select has just played so well this game, Sean.
I mean, Select gets it, JP.
He gets it.
I don't know how else to put it. He just looks at StarCraft 2 and he's like, yeah, I get that.
He gets it.
He did amazing aggression in the mid-game, and remember that stark contrast moment. Wow, good game. Select takes it 2-0.
What an incredible match that was. Select.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man. He just looked so good that game. Going over to Korea,
wow,
has done so much for him, Sean.
Wow. And there he is, Dignitas Select. Happy birthday to him. Taking the win, 2-0, now in the semifinal of the winner's bracket. That makes him top 6 guaranteed in this tournament. And what amazing form in the mid-game, being so aggressive, attacking, and in an instant, stopped. Dead still aggression for Select. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, the man who managed to go 2-0, Select. Congratulations to him.
And I believe he should be playing against the winner of MVP and who was it again?
You know, I don't know. Let's actually take a look at the brackets to see who Select could be up against. I would imagine, though, that he will be up against MVP, because MVP is the one player who not only is here for the BlizzCon Invitational, but also for the GSL Finals.
He could win $100,000 this weekend.
He may very well win $100,000 this weekend with just back-to-back being awesomeness.
Yeah. That would be definitely incredible. We'll have to see if Select's TVT has stepped up and really elevated, because his TVZ, you know, if that's his worst matchup, I want to see the rest of him, man.
Jeez. I mean, I really, really love that beautiful moment where Select realized, All right, he's got his footing. He has his 4 bases up. And remember, late game is all about expansion management. Suddenly, I have more bases than you. I just have to sit. Parked right in the middle with both the watchtowers and just went up and down, picking off those 2 central expansions.
Yep.
And Dimaga could not get his foot in the economic lead.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel bad for Dimaga right there because he comes all the way over here. We've seen him so many times in all these big tournaments, and he goes up against a new, I want to say a new Select. I mean, that was, we've never seen Select play like that before. And we've seen him play at MLGs for almost every single one. We've seen him play in all these other tournaments. He just looked so strong. And I don't know if we could say that enough because it was an entirely different Select.
It was really scary. I mean, there were so many different types of player you had to be in that game. And even the crisis management at the start, who rushes for a layer to get Baneling speed to Baneling bust your front door. That is a crazy comeback. Not just in terms of straight economy, but just in terms of being able to stay focused. And Select now stepping off the stage. We're going to try to get him up on the side stage after this, find out what he thinks about his birthday win here at BlizzCon 2011. And keep in mind, everyone here, and to you watching at home, this is only the first 2 matches of the day. We'll be bringing you action non-stop from the RTS stage.
Well, and of course, up next is going to be Tastosis coming up here. They will be casting the next series. They'll also be doing the GSL finals tonight, which I am super excited for. And, you know, I'm not sure what match they'll actually be broadcasting, but if it's anything like that match, it's going to be one hell of a match, Sean. So you're going to be going over to the side stage right now for a quick interview. I do want to say thank you guys for tuning in here live at BlizzCon 2011. Sean will be right back, so say goodbye to him for just a couple of seconds. Also, to everyone viewing from home, thank you guys, and go on Twitter, hashtag BlizzCon. Talk about the matches. Go over to Team Liquid. Go over to Reddit/r/StarCraft. I'm sure you guys already are, but we want to see your love. I'm sure you guys are out there bar crafting as well. Do we have any bar crafters here in the crowd? A little bit.